Hello everybody, we've got a new update from the Old School RuneScape team. This is boss pets, sets, chat and more. So let's have a look at this update. This week they're bringing us 4 new boss pets to get our hands on, as well as a whole host of other content from the recent near miss poll. If you want to see my video on that, please click here. They're bringing Spacebar to skip chat dialogue, instance kraken and lots more. So let's get into the details of this week's update. We're starting off with the wilderness boss pets. Scorpia, Venenatus, Vetion and Callisto now have a very slim chance of dropping a pet version of themselves when killed. It will be no small feat to get your hands on one of these pets, with not only the rarity of the pet drops to consider, but also the added danger of being in the wilderness. If you see someone wandering around with one of these pets, you can be sure that they're not only a master of PvM, but someone that knows the ways of the wilderness like the back of their hand. Think you're brave enough to go for a wilderness boss pet? Be sure to head up north and give it a shot. You might just get lucky. Next, Spacebar skipping chat dialogue. When interacting with NPCs, you will now be able to use your keyboard to skip through chat dialogue and select chat options. You can use your spacebar to continue through dialogue and the numbers on your keyboard to select different chat options. So instead of the old click here to continue, you can just tap space, and instead of clicking on the first option, the second option or the third option, you can just tap 1, 2 or 3. Next, instance kraken. It's now possible to open an instance kraken cave in which you can have your own personal kraken to kill. You can open this cave by right-clicking the crevice that leads to the kraken and selecting private. You'll then be prompted to pay 25,000 coins from either your inventory or bank as a cost for opening the instance. The cave that you're then placed in is inaccessible by any other player and will close once you leave. Please note that if you leave the cave in any way, all items on the ground will disappear. You will not be able to retrieve your items lost if you die. Next, overhead chat filter. Filtering chat will now filter both what you see in the chat box and what is displayed over other people's heads. So for example, if you're at the Grand Exchange and you want to buy a Robin Hood hat, you can just type in Robin to the filter and you will only see the chat above people's heads that says Robin. Next, the Ring of Recoil tweaks. They've now added a break option to Rings of Recoil that will allow you to make sure the next Ring of Recoil that you equipped will be able to deal a total of 40 points of damage. Also, the message that you receive as your ring shatters has been recolored to make it more noticeable. Next, the Godsword accurate attack style change. They've adjusted the accurate attack style of the Godswords to use a slash rather than crush, as the slash attack bonus on Godswords has always been higher than crush bonus. Having the accurate attack style of the weapons use slash rather than crush means that the accurate attack style takes advantage of the best offensive bonus of the weapon. Next, the new Grand Exchange sets. They've added some additional item sets to the Grand Exchange. You can now create sets of the following items by talking to the Grand Exchange clerks. The Holy Book page set, the Unholy Book page set, the Book of Balance page set, the Book of Law page set, the Book of Darkness page set, the Book of War page set, the Zamrock Dragonhide set, the Saradomin Dragonhide set, the Guthix Dragonhide set, the Bandos Dragonhide set, the Ancient Dragonhide set, the Armadillo Dragonhide set, a Party Hat set, and a Halloween Mask set. And finally, in other news, it's now possible to share super combat potions using the boost potion spell on the Lunar Spellbook. You can now catch fish with a full inventory if one inventory space would become available from the bait consumed, meaning that if you've just got one piece of bait, it will then be used to get a fish. Cooking dark crabs on a fire now plays the correct animation. Using the blowpipe special attack when your hit points are above your base level no longer reduces your hit points. The Bone Crusher now crushes bones dropped by Cyclopses in the Warriors Guild basement. They fixed a small clipping issue on the Construction Skill Cape. They fixed a small stretching issue on the Armadillo Chain Skirt on females. Watchtower and Camelot, player own house portals and teleport tablets now teleport you to the new teleport location if you have them set. Charging water orbs no longer stops after just one if you haven't completed the related diary task. You can no longer kill the Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, also known as Thermi, without a Slayer assignment if you haven't started the Western Achievement Diary. The Explorer's Ring 2 now only provides 3 daily cabbage teleports. Elund will now charge your teleport crystal with 5 charges if you've completed the Western hard tasks. The Hunter Expert has now collected his hunting skill cape from the dry cleaners. Spinning materials on the Sears spinning wheel is now faster if you've completed the Kandara medium tasks. Edgeville Furnace no longer duplicates an iron bar when your Varrock armor benefit activates. They fixed a number of zone checks and typos relating to the achievement diaries. You should now be able to use the Cure Plant and Fertile Soil lunar spells on both Harmony Island's farming patches. And task increment messages should no longer appear on free-to-play worlds. So this has been an interesting update. First of all, there's the Wilderness boss pets, one I was a little unsure about. mostly because I don't like the graphics of the wilderness bosses. However, I do like the look of the new chat heads they've given them, and I can imagine in the future they might even graphically rework the wilderness bosses. The spacebar to skip dialogue is an update I've been waiting for a while. The one criticism I have with it in Old School is the fact it doesn't show you which button corresponds with which option, like it does in RS3, and I can imagine that being a bit of a pain if you've got a lot of options. Now, I must admit, I'm quite surprised at the fact that the instance kraken can be paid for via the bank. Now, I don't know whether they did that with the corp, but I don't like the idea of it. I think you should bring that 25k and sacrifice just one small inventory space. Especially because 25k isn't much just to kill a monster that you can get at least 1 million an hour for. The Godsword attack style update, I don't really understand why they did that. To me, it sounds like they're just making the Godswords even more powerful than they currently are. If you wish to discuss this update, please go on the forums or in my comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.